Good morning and welcome to Trading with Larry. It's Larry Benedict, joined by Eric Shamilov, coming to you right as the CPI hits the tape. Um, I am on vacation, so I'm not sitting in front of it. So I'm going to throw it to Eric to parse those numbers out quickly for us.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everyone. U.S. June core CPI rises 20 basis points below estimates. Consumer prices rise 30 basis points in line. Year over year, we're a tad hot. So markets are reacting positively at the moment.
Dude, how did you not know that this number wasn't going to be incredible? I've been telling you for 2 weeks that it's amazing. They were worried about the Biden administration rigging numbers. I mean, these numbers are beyond rigged. I mean, they will not show inflation no matter what. So it's an interesting spot that we're in. I was looking at the market, and obviously the news overnight is that I guess Nvidia is going to be able to sell the H20 chip into China potentially. It's added more market cap this morning than the value of every company in the world. This is just adding market cap of every company in the world other than 50 companies. It added more market cap today than Procter and Gamble. It added more market. You can go down the list. It is an incredible thing that they think that this is going to add trillions and trillions to the market cap without any hiccups, without any problems with the Chinese or anything like that. So I think that they're looking at this. Well, listen, I felt like about a week and a half ago, I don't know if you've been trading Nvidia at all, but I've been fairly active in the name. It's been trading like an internet stock back in 2000, and it has 25 billion shares outstanding. So I'm not truly getting what's going on here. So, it's mystifying to me to see the stock up $7 or $8. Eight on 25 billion is 200 and change $1 billion. Go down the list, you'll see these companies. I looked at it last night, and it's an incredible move. I mean, you can't get in the way of it because this is public, but we're putting on a short position here in the name, and we'll add on weakness. I mean, listen, you're much more involved in the tech sector. I'm more broad market, global macro, but you're looking a lot at technology, etc. And I'm not seeing it. And that's sort of the news of the day here. Markets are priced for total perfection in everything that I'm seeing. So we'll see what the reaction is in S&Ps. Markets come in a little bit, but overall, it took out the high on the number and now came in to be inside the range. JP Morgan had earnings, blew the numbers out, stocks lower. It's interesting. Crypto looks like maybe, I know you don't like when I say this, but maybe we have a little bit of a blow off top
Oh, boy. Okay.
in crypto, up at the 22, 21,000 area. But we'll see. S&Ps are fully bid and the market is bid. And that's what I'm seeing. But I don't know if you have any thoughts on Nvidia here. It's really
Yeah.
looking really interesting. At
Yeah.
four, hold on, at 4.3 trillion. Forget four. It's like at a whole nother number. So
Well, since the lows, out of the Mag Sevens, it's the only one that doubled from the lows this year.
more
It
than
went from two, more than doubled. It went from 2 trillion to 4.3, like you said. So
I think it's about
that was
4.2.
whatever it is. It doubled. That was the only Mag Seven. So you're you're saying 200 billion in market cap is a lot. It went up 2 trillion in a couple of months. So I think that's even more of a wow. But
Well, I'm just looking at first the news. I'm looking at first the news that came out. Like they don't even
the
realize
news,
what.
the way that Nvidia has been trading over the last couple of weeks, you had it's been going straight up, like you said, adding so much market cap in a very choppy market. Like the market hasn't really gone anywhere over the last week and a half since that jobs report, other than today, right?
Well,
Nvidia has been flying. We were like, "What is going on?" And now the news came out yesterday, and that's probably why it was going up.
yeah, I mean, probably, but I don't even know what it actually. Here's what I'm not really understanding is, I mean, our relationship with China is pretty bad, you would say, right? With 55% tariffs or even more. Okay. How is China going to let Nvidia sell chips or whatever into China when we're in a full out trade war? Like they're so confident that they're going to be able to sell these chips and do whatever they want in China. I've
Yeah,
highly doubt it. So
Jensen is. I disagree. I think Jensen is getting more entrenched into China. I think he's opening up an office or a research center in Shanghai right now. He believes that China is going to win the AI race.
okay, so
He,
now you're saying a US company is going to help China win the AI race.
I,
Okay.
I think
I
Jensen
wouldn't-
is. I think Jensen is thinking that China is going to win the AI race, and I think he's positioning is trying to position his company more and more to be on that winning side from what he thinks is going to happen.
Well, how is he going to get away with it? He went to Trump's office last week and basically went over whatever plan he was planning to have. So whatever he did had Trump approval on it. Okay, and
Yeah, they're kind of laughing about it on Twitter. Whatever Jensen wants, Jensen gets.
yeah, well, we'll see how it all plays out. I'm shorting the name this morning. It's trading at 171, 172. It's got a four.
I'm already sure I'm getting blown out of my put put options here. I mean, it's not going to be that bad at the open, but I mean, I have
How could it not
once
be that bad? The stock's freaking up
I
seven.
have 160 puts for August.
Okay.
It's not terrible, but
Yeah, I mean, I think that the base,
we're not at 160. We're at 171. So
right. So I think the base is been generally short, seen a lot of short covering overnight. I like the area. I like the area to short it.
yeah.
And the
Now, does
market,
this have me? Look, I've been bullish going into all of this, but to me, this Nvidia thing actually has a little bit of buy the rumor, sell the fact on it. A little bit. I'm
well,
not
they're
telling
not selling the
people.
fact yet.
Yeah, they're not selling the fact yet,
I
but
have, I have some stops in the market below the market at 169 and a half. I figure if it reverses a couple of dollars, it means that everybody's short covered. And, there's probably a lot of work to do here. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, I do understand. I mean, we've discussed this a lot, and I feel like a little bit of a broken record by saying what I keep saying is that this is a frothy retail owned market. And, I know you love the retail and you think they're going to have enough power to hold it up. They never have
I
in the.
love I love retail. They
I
have this
understand, but they
special.
never have. They never have. Even AMC and GameStop, same thing. Bottom line is they blew those stocks up and then basically made everybody short cover whatever they did, and then the markets, basically came in. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, this could only be the second inning, the third inning, the fifth inning. I don't know what inning we're in. We could be in later innings, but the insatiable appetite to have Nvidia, which is the biggest market cap in the world by far now, by even it could be the biggest market cap in the world by almost a trillion. close, probably 600 billion, maybe more. I think number two is Microsoft at like 3 point whatever, low threes. I mean, this is so outpacing anything out there, and the retail public is got an insatiable appetite for this stock. The stock was just like 130, 140. I mean, it's ripped, you know? And the thing is, the news can be, like you said, it's like a sell the news event because it's, listen, did the stock ever really go down because they weren't selling chips into China? No. The stock really never went down. Stock went down because the market went down. The market went down during the tantrum over tariffs, and that was drawn in along with every other stock on the board when the Nasdaq corrected 30%. But right now, this is like an insatiable appetite to be long this name at these levels is just. I just think you're flirting with risk. That's just it's just my opinion. You know, and we'll see how the stock trades today.
I'll tell you what, you talk about froth. I like. There's always froth in the market, but Nvidia, the profit margin on Nvidia is over 50%. I mean, they have like a monopolized situation. They're able to basically charge whatever they want. They have a 50% profit margin. I mean, I'm not sure how much the H20 chips are bringing in revenue. I got to take a look, but if it's like 20 billion and you slap on a 10 to 1 multiple on that incremental 20 billion, there's your $200 billion market cap increment.
Oh, come on, dude. I mean, literally, this sitting on this podcast is insane. Okay. Literally, you're talking about a $4 trillion stock plus. Okay. And you're saying how they're going to beat the number. And how could you even
I'm not saying anything about the number. I'm just
No, I'm
saying,
just saying to you, it doesn't, dude. There wasn't a company pre-COVID over a trillion. So since COVID hit, which is only 5 years ago, 5 years ago, there's now like seven companies over a trillion or six, maybe seven. Okay, and and the market caps have just. I mean, there is no possible way. Okay, in a career that this company could stay on pace to do whatever you think they're going to do. It's never going to happen. So, yes, this is the rah rah. What do they have? The '60s. The go go. That and they have the internet bubble. This is a true bubble. Okay, you can support it with anything. You're backing into how you can get. Hey, Procter and Gamble's been here for 60, 70 years. I know they're no good. You're going to go with a chip company. Okay, it should be worth 20 billion, trillion, not even billion, 20 trillion. The numbers are just numbers. That's when you know that there's issues. Okay, and I
well,
believe there are.
part of their valuation, I 100% agree with you, is the myopic market. They will always chase growth and kind of forget about everything else, and so part of that is just a myopic market. But you always have a myopic market that's chasing growth. In any market, you're going to have your top 10 growth stocks completely overvalued. There's
Hmm.
no,
Absolutely, absolutely not true. I've
not
traded for
okay.
years. Okay, yeah, maybe in this market where you could take this device right here, you could see I have a trading window up. I could trade right now on this podcast. That's the difference. Everybody's got it.
As they're coming in here a little bit, what do you think about what's happening on the CPI reaction?
I think it's a non-event. I think that the numbers are not telling the true story. And listen, how could possibly the US government put out a hot inflation number when you got Trump trying to fire the chairman of the Fed? Okay, trying to get rid of him, telling him
He
to
was trying
go.
to get rid of him in 2018 too.
I understand that, but he's trying to get rid of them again, saying rate. Listen, you and I both know they can't cut rates. I mean, they don't even know. Nobody even knows what the tariffs are. You don't even know what he's going to do next. You don't know if it's 30%. You don't know if it's going in August. You don't know if he's going to taco out again and move it back. So we're not clear on what the picture truly looks like. So the bottom line is that's the reason why the Fed can't cut, and the Fed actually told you that in the minutes of the meeting. They basically came out and said we
You
would
didn't even
cut.
need the. You didn't. Yeah, I agree, and you didn't even need the minutes. They told you that. To me, I got that message from the last Fed meeting because uh, half of the Fed, uh, basically on the dot plot, it showed that half of the Fed doesn't even think interest rate cuts are warranted at all this year. So even before the minutes, we had that message.
Yeah, but I don't think it's because of a natural reaction in the market, because they're saying the exact opposite. They're saying if there were no tariffs, they would have already cut, which is true. Okay. So the bottom line is they can't cut because they don't know what's going to happen. But on the other hand, the government against the Federal Reserve, the government's not going to put out hot numbers. Okay. They just won't do it. So they're going to, you know, you know,
You really think that there's like, something like a conspiracy on the CPI number? And
I don't think there's a conspiracy. I think that they see them and they do whatever. I mean, I don't know. You see zero inflation continually every single month. I mean, you told me this number, you thought this number was going to be hot as hell.
not hot as hell, slightly hot. I think the numbers at the end of the quarter are going to start coming in. But I thought this number would be above estimates.
Yeah,
I
but
thought,
how, if there are tariffs in at all, are the numbers not hotter in general because the prices of all goods have gone up? So numbers are hotter all around. Markets seem to not.
really, the CPI is a terrible, terrible
I just think
economic.
it's funny that with no numbers last week, we're waiting on this CPI. The CPI is like a zero. It's in line, whatever. And the bottom line is they're on to the next. But let's take a look at some of the macro plays out there. First, let's start with the bond market. So the bond market's reaction, you're saying it's light, the number, but the bonds are flat. They're not even catching a real bid. We're at 442. I think the next move is to 450. Um, you know, and
The 30-year is right below 5% right now. It's at 4.977.
yeah. Well, I'm only looking at the 10 year. I I'm not looking at anything else. But the bottom line is like, you gotta
But
today.
for a bond play, don't you think that the 30-year is the correct short, not
No,
the 10?
I don't like to trade it. You
Okay,
can.
but what is the correct short? Is it the 10-year or the
Yes,
30?
I think the 10 year is giving you direction. Now, listen, if you're right on direction, 100% trading the more volatile instrument with less liquidity is a better way to play it. Okay. But
Yeah,
if
but
you're
in terms
wrong,
of like where on the yield, like you think rates are going up, I also think rates are going up, right?
I
But
can't
where
predict.
on the yield
I don't want
curve
to
should I
predict it. I don't want to predict. I mean, I believe if rates are going higher, the curve is going to steepen, which means the 30 year is going to underperform and yields are going to tick higher. But if you're
right?
wrong on that trade, you get your head blown off. Okay.
Okay,
And
so
I want
let's
to, I want to, I want people out there that are watching us not to trade the 30 only because it's too volatile. Okay. And it's not contained. When you trade the 10 year, I like as a trader to know kind of what my risk reward is. So if I'm trading 10 years, I know the average day it moves 8.5 ticks. That is not, I'm just throwing that out there. Okay. I would rather trade that. The other day I watched the 30 year was down a point and a half. Okay. I don't, that's too much of a move for me to be involved in. I don't want to be involved in that. So yes, you can if you're a deep macro, but if you're trading for a living and you're trading every single day, I think you got to be in the 10 year. That's just my opinion. You'll get the same move, but the move will be muted and more contained, and you'll be able to, you know, handle it. I want to be able to handle it, like today, the move in Nvidia, nobody can handle. No one in their wildest dreams would think the stock would be up $7 or $8, which is $250 billion in market cap. That's an outsized move. Now, what that does is that makes all traders freak out, run and cover. So that's what I don't want to have happen to my trading community in trading bonds. If you happen to be trading them, you can get hammered. I've seen the bonds. I've traded the bonds before, and they've had a 6 point move in one day. Okay, six, maybe a 10 point move one day. I got to go back. I think that was in the early 2000s, but I don't want to be involved in that. So the probably if you think you're right on the move, the better way to play it is to play it through the longer dated instrument because it moves more. But I think professional traders of bonds and the debt complex trade 10 years. So that's how I would answer that question. I know you like the 30 year because you like the movement, but you can get the same thing. So rather than do, I don't know how many bonds you do, but if you do 5 bonds or 3 bonds, you can do 15 10 years and you get the same move, So and I feel much more comfortable with 15 10 years, just because of the way it moves. But that's just me. But I think rates are going to go to the 4.5 level here. Keep an eye on it, but, it's not impactful to the market. You were thinking, equities, it's very difficult for equities to go down when you have the top stock in the world that's 20, it's probably up to 15% of the S&P one stock. I mean, what do we have it at 8.5 the other day? I think it's over 10. Okay. One stock. How can the market go down if one stock's exploding? You know, I mean, I know what they do. They sell other stocks to buy that stock, but it's pretty difficult. But so you got really my thought on the bond market. You want to be in the longer end, which will be correct if yields back up. But if they don't back up, you can run into one of these Nvidia type situations where you have a 3 point move in bonds and get hammered. And I don't want to have that. Currencies have been a little bit interesting here. The trade there is, kind of muted. You had a good trade on the euro. It's down at 116, 60, 70. What do you think from here?
Well, I reduced my position by 2/3 at these
Oh,
levels.
okay. So you're not really
I'm
looking for, I
I'm
mean,
not really I'm not really in a position right now on the euro, but I think it should go even lower. Um, what I'm seeing in the currency market is that unlike in the beginning of the year, where U.S. rates have been going up and the dollar has been dropping because of the fear of de-dollarization, that trend is broken here. It's like now the dollar is going up with US rates, which is more of a traditional relationship. I actually look at that as bullish for macro because you had the dollar dropping all year despite interest rates rising. Now you have the dollar going up again as US rates are going up. So I think that should continue throughout the summer. So if the euro kind of goes back up to 117 and a quarter or something like that, I'd probably short it again.
yeah. I don't, you know what? I'm shorted. I'm still shorted. It's not moving. It's been, I don't know what, listen, this used to be a great trading market and it will be again. Like last year for our OFX currency wizard, we had like an incredible year. I mean, we made I think 1,400 points. You're looking to pick up like 50 pips or 40 pips. We made 1,400 pips in 1 year. This year has been a little bit more choppy. We're working our way back to positive, but there has really been a no trade, and right now we're short the euro against the dollar, but we're not seeing a movement. So it's been very, very, it's been very, very quiet there. Same thing in gold. Gold looked like there were going to be a little fireworks last week, got down to the low of the entire move, and then bounced 100 points. And today, was up a lot overnight, and has reversed and is flat at 33.50, up 27% for the year. So, you know, there hasn't been really anything going on there since it meaningfully made the highs. And, it's a weird one. Like, you were thinking the market was going to reverse equities, and really it hasn't yet. I have stops lower in the market. I have some stops in Nvidia. Um, you know, and then crypto's been pretty much on fire. But maybe 21,000 is the tippy top of that range. I don't know. I know
Yeah,
you
well,
things.
for Bitcoin, I'm a little bit concerned because a lot of this move, this recent move, it hasn't it's been more because of leverage than it has been spot buying, from what I understand.
Hmm.
And the option positioning in Bitcoin, you had big option walls at 115 and 120, and so I think the 120 area, 115 area, that's a probably, given those ingredients, I think that's a great spot for some profit taking, which is probably what we see right now. I would not be in a rush to buy Bitcoin here at 117.
No, wait a second. Holy, who is this guy? I can't
Yeah,
see you that
I
well. That's unbelievable. You've
know.
rode the ride. Yeah,
Well, only because of that technical stuff that I just mentioned. That, not because I think Bitcoin is not a viable situation.
I
Um,
just, the U.S. equity markets are just unbelievable. How we continue to make new high after new high after new high. It's pretty incredible. No matter,
but is it really? Is it really unbelievable?
I think it
Are you
is
really surprised?
100% surprised right here.
No, I
100.
don't believe that. There's no way you're surprised.
Why? I think the market is a complete bubble, so I am 100% surprised.
How
Okay,
many bubbles have we had over the last 5 years? A lot.
I don't know. I listen. I'm just looking at this market and what this market is doing. And listen, when I ran big money in the hedge fund space, I had to deal with almost the same thing as like you, but I had clients coming in and they're like, "I don't understand. You think this is a bubble?" Da, 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 da. And then '08 happened, and people were coming to my office in '07, and I'm trying to explain it, and nobody wants to listen. It's the same thing now. We want to at the opportunistic trader play defensively. We want to have defensive positions here, and that's sort of the way that we're positioned for right now. And we'll we'll remain cautious. We're going to trade both sides. We're not fully opinionated, but I want to be a little bit cautious of a market that continually bucks, you know, thought process, etc. But I want to get close to wrapping today. I want to give people time to get set for the opening. I'm actually on vacation,
Where
but
are you?
I can't give away the location, my friend.
Come on.
I'm in
You
a place that doesn't have a lot of Wi-Fi, so I'll be on the show every day. guiding people in the morning, but then it's going to be very hard to get in touch with me.
I'm
Uh,
not going to crash your party. I'm not going to show up uninvited. Just
you
tell
better
us,
not show up. I
just
definitely
tell us
I
the
want to see you
same.
on video, but seriously, I want to get to what you think is the trade of the day. Like, what do you think the market is going to reverse in here and be negative today? I mean, it feels like it, but you know,
It's a long way down for negative. No,
what do you mean a
I
long way down? 20 spoo handles? Oh my god, dude! Listen, I've been calm. I'm on vacation. You're telling me a long
I
way
hate
down
when
is
you're calm.
20
I
S and
hate
P
when you're
points.
calm. I hate it. It's
I'm
like
just saying
something
20
is wrong in
S&P
the world
points.
when you're calm.
Wait, we're going to be 7,000. You're still going to talk about 20. You
How
think,
far are you from New York? Can you come to New York? Stop being on vacation. Let's
listen to
trade.
me. I'm never on vacation.
There you go. There you go.
Anyway, so you're not going to give the trade of the day. So it's not down on the day. I'm going to go with the market's going to
I
have
don't know.
trouble. Dude, listen to me. I was getting texts from you last night that this is the greatest setup ever. And then this morning you're telling me it's the greatest setup ever. Now you're worried about
Larry,
20
you
S&P.
know how I operate.
Get out of town. Yeah, you operate after the fact. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying maybe today the market gets a little choppy. I'm seeing weakness in JP Morgan, which is interesting. They blew the numbers out. Trading revenue, etc. Stock is lower, not a lot lower, but lower. Cryptos are slightly lower. They should be a lot lower than where they are right now. I think you could sell Coinbase up in here. Um, these are all rah-rah stocks. They're like Nvidia, like Coinbase. You know,
Yeah, you think Coinbase is
no,
overvalued?
Touchdown Tommy was telling me that, it's the greatest buy ever, the Golden Cross, all his people are calling, and then the stock went down. I'm just saying there is so much retail involved here that
Golden what?
you have to be very, very careful. But anyway, you're not giving me the trade of the day. So what I would say is be cautious. I think bond prices are going to continue to go lower and yields higher. I think that could be a problem at 450. Keep an eye on that. No trade in currencies. No trade really I see in gold. Probably short, maybe a little here on the top of this range. But there's not a clear trade. And then, oil's sitting below 70. So it's, really not a lot going on. So that's what I'm seeing. And, keep an eye on Nvidia. It's traded crazy, a ton of short covering overnight, ton. I mean, these stocks trade on Robinhood and interactive brokers overnight, which never happened before, and they're just massive retail buying. I mean, it's just incredible. So keep an eye on that. Nvidia will lead the day. If that doesn't continue to rally and sells off, the market could run into trouble. And those are my thoughts for today. And I wish everybody good luck trading and be safe out there and don't do anything too crazy. Trade within your means. Good luck. Peace.